In this video, I'll uncover 8 amazing health benefits of MCT oil. If you're someone who's trying to get into the state of ketosis, they did a study out there, and those who are using MCTs were actually able to get into ketosis faster. I follow a low-carb diet on the regular, and then I also like to utilize these MCTs for brain fuel. I mix MCT powder in with a smoothie because they're able to reduce seizures by boosting ketone levels. Ketones are very healthy for the nervous system, powerful stuff. When we look at heart health in general, and these people who are having heart attacks and clots and all this, it's an inflammatory problem in the cardiovascular system. There's a lot of craze in the health community over MCT oil, as there should be, because it has an amazing amount of benefits to offer you. But the truth is not too many people understand the benefits that it offers and how they can utilize it in order to improve their health. So that's what we're going to discuss in this video. We're going to talk about 8 amazing health benefits of MCT oil, so stick around to the end so that you can learn everything you need to know about how to use MCT oil. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski, and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, it's a pleasure to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and join our notification community. That way I can help you excel your health and your life. So let's go ahead and kick this off by starting with, what is MCT oil? So when we look at MCTs in general, they're referred to as medium chain triglycerides, okay? Medium chain triglycerides, and typically when we see MCT oils coming from coconut oil, it also can come from like palm kernel oil, it can come from butter, but typically it's coming from coconut oil. Now, specifically MCTs are the medium chain triglycerides that are mixed in with the long chain triglycerides. Now, the thing is about these two different types of triglycerides is that the medium chain have an enormous amount of benefit to offer you. Now, the long chain do as well, but when we look at really getting the most benefit from the triglycerides, medium chain are going to be the most powerful. They have this special ability to actually go right to the liver and be converted into ketones so that they can be utilized and easily absorbed into the cell. And so the MCTs are taken from the coconut oil, they're put into a container, put into a bottle, and that way you can utilize that specific triglyceride in order to help improve your health. So here's some of the common MCTs that you're going to find when you look at MCT oil. So let's look at that as the basic understanding, and then of course let's go ahead and jump in at all the benefits that it has to offer. First, we're going to talk about weight loss because a lot of people really like MCTs for weight loss, and yes, this is a scientific proven fact that it does help with weight loss. Let's talk about some of the ways that it does so. First of all, it promotes satiety. One of the things that they did is they had a group of people take like olive oil, then they had a group of people take like soybean oil. They had them take these different types of oil, and essentially what they found is that when people took MCTs over these other oils, they had more satiety. As a result, they consumed less calories. As a result, they were able to lose some weight. It also reduces fat storage and increases fat burning. So one of the major benefits of MCTs is that they have this special ability to basically keep off the hormone-sensitive lipase that wants to turn them into triglycerides. And they have the ability to actually be utilized directly by the body as an energy source. And so one of the things they do is they do not like to be stored as fat, and they also help increase metabolic function and also help increase fat burning. So that's really great. And they can actually even help kickstart that fat burning mode so that your body starts burning fat for energy, and that way you actually are able to lose some of that belly fat, some of that fat around your body you've been trying to get rid of. It also significantly reduces belly fat. There's some studies out there where they found that it significantly reduced weight, belly fat, and just improved overall health. It has fewer calories than the long chain triglycerides. Now remember, I talked about coconut oil. There's long chain in there, there's medium chain. The same thing goes when it comes to butter or some of these different oils out there. But what they found is that the medium chain actually have fewer calories, so that also can help with weight loss if you are trying to increase satiety and also get fewer calories in. It's used as an instant energy source. I've talked about this a lot, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, how it actually goes to the liver, and it just has this special way that it's metabolized and utilized. And it also promotes a healthy gut, okay? So many people who are trying to lose weight, if they have an unhealthy gut, it's going to mess with your hormones, cause a lot of issues there. Now, I will say this too. When it comes to MCT oil, a lot of people, and I say this because I work with a lot of patients who have gut issues, a lot of people will react negatively to the actual oil. So what we utilize clinically is an MCT powder. The MCT powder does not have that negative reaction. There's actually some different studies out there and anecdotal evidence that basically says, yeah, a lot of people have negative reactions to the oil, and as far as their gut goes, they'll get some diarrhea, gas, bloating, that kind of thing, but the powder works very well. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below to the powder that I recommend. Support low carb and keto diet. Now, this is really important because, first of all, I follow a low carb diet. A lot of people are following a keto diet. And so the MCTs are very powerful in helping you maintain these type of diets. First of all, it's going to promote the state of ketosis. So if you're someone who's trying to get into the state of ketosis, they did a study out there, and those who are using MCTs were actually able to get into ketosis faster. The other thing that they found is that when people were trying to get into ketosis and they used the MCTs, they were able to actually go and avoid a lot of the symptoms known as the keto flu that come along with that transition. So that's really awesome. Now, it's also going to support staying in ketosis. So let's say, you're working to get in, finally you got into ketosis, the MCTs will support that ketogenic diet, that keto lifestyle, and help you stay into ketosis. They're easily digested and absorbed. Mentioned this a couple times. They go right to the liver. They're utilized as a quick energy and fuel source and easily absorbed by the cell. It also is converted directly into ketones. Okay, so when we get some of these other fats, first of all, they have to go and they get stored as triglycerides, and then they are able to actually be utilized once your body breaks down fat for energy. But these MCTs specifically are able to actually just be broken down and utilized right away, turned into ketones, and used by the body for energy. Bypasses a hormone-sensitive lipase, I had mentioned that, and also does not impact insulin levels, which is very important. If you're trying to follow a low-carb diet, stay in ketosis, you do not want things that are spiking insulin levels. When they did a lot of the testing out there, the MCTs were not budging the insulin levels in either direction, which is good. Next here is brain superfuel. Now, a lot of people who are in the biohacking community love this topic of how they can support brain health and biohack their brain, that kind of thing. Well, the MCTs are one of the major ways that they talk about doing it. So the brain has two different sources that it's going to use for fuel. It's going to use sugar, or it's going to be able to use fats. Okay, that's fats in the form of ketones, basically. And so when we look at the brain, it's important to realize that the brain is 60+% fat. This is a very fatty organ. It's the fattiest organ in the whole body. And so when we look at the brain, we want to make sure that we're supporting it properly. And fortunately, the brain really likes using ketones for energy. And this is why we'll talk about in just a moment how a lot of people who have neurological conditions, they do very well with these ketones. So the brain has either sugar or ketones. When you utilize these MCTs, it's able to be utilized quickly by the brain. So it is a fast fuel that is absorbed rapidly. The ketones are used as energy for the brain cells, which is really, really powerful. And one of the reasons it's able to do this is because these ketones can cross the blood-brain barrier very effectively, get right to the cells in the brain, and be utilized for energy. It also helps improve cognitive performance. One of the things I do, we talked about this keto lifestyle. I follow a low-carb diet on the regular. And then I also like to utilize these MCTs for brain fuel. How I break my fast every single day is with coffee and that MCT powder, which I had already mentioned. You're able to take the MCT powder on the go. That's why I like it. There's no blending. It's very easy to utilize. You can take it to the coffee shop with you. I put that MCT powder in my coffee. It gives me great brain fuel, but also you get that little bit of caffeine boost, and you're just laser focused for hours after that. So I'm a big fan of utilizing it for brain fuel. Like I said, use that powder, put it in your coffee, works amazing. Next here is it improves physical performance. Now, there's really a lot of emerging research in this area, which is really cool because for those of us, who are athletes or those who are looking to, work out and get a little bit of extra performance boost, or just people who just, let's say, are fatigued throughout the day and they need that extra energy so that they can physically complete their job or do the tasks they need to do. So when we look at increasing physical performance, a couple things that it's going to do. It's going to help decrease lactic acid buildup, the lactate buildup, which is very important because what happens is that when you get this lactate buildup throughout your exercise, it's going to decrease performance. And so what it helps do is it helps decrease that buildup. The other thing it can do is it makes you very sore after your workouts. So using MCTs for this is really powerful. They also found that it improved time trial performance. So what they did is they took a group of individuals, they were doing high intensity interval training. With the high intensity interval training, they used these MCTs, and they found that those who are using the MCTs versus those who are just using some other random forms of oils, they found that the MCTs were able to actually decrease their time trial performance, which was really cool. So utilizing it for exercise performance or just physical performance in any way is great. And also allows for the use of fat for energy during your workout. So that's a big conversation in the athletic world, right? Because, as we have these exogenous ketones that are being utilized as a way to boost physical performance, and we have the MCTs, and then of course, we have the body that uses like the sugar system for exercise performance. And then of course, taking both of them, combining them together, what can that do for exercise performance? A lot of conversation to have there. And I don't want to go into the weeds. That's for another time. But MCTs are going to help build your physical performance. It's also going to help neurological conditions. Now, this is incredibly powerful here. When we talk about neurological conditions, there are so many people out there suffering, and it just breaks my heart when I see these people who have Alzheimer's, kids who have autism, kids who have epilepsy. So let's go ahead and talk about a few things here. So the ketones are known to reduce seizures. So these kids who have epilepsy, if they're taking like exogenous ketones, using these MCTs, really, really powerful for going and reducing epilepsy. One of the things I'll have one of my patients who has epilepsy do, they'll go and mix this in with a tea, they'll mix MCT powder in with a smoothie, and they'll get some really great results with it because they're able to reduce seizures by boosting ketone levels. Ketones are very healthy for the nervous system, powerful stuff. Alzheimer's impairs the brain energy system. Okay, so when we look at Alzheimer's, the Alzheimer's will basically decrease the ability of the brain to function based off utilizing sugar for energy. So when you go and you start pushing a lot of coconut oil, a lot of MCTs, essentially what happens is you can boost brain function. So if you really want to boost some brain function and help someone who has Alzheimer's, utilize this MCT powder in order to actually get the results you're looking for. I mean, you can see it immediately. If you have someone who has Alzheimer's, you start utilizing these MCTs in high doses, it helps them a lot because it allows their brain to actually have a fuel to function on. Ketones show positive signs in autism. So when these children go on the ketogenic diet, when they start boosting ketones, when they use MCTs to boost ketones, it helps boost their cognitive performance, and it helps these autistic kids to be able to stay more focused, more on task, and they're able to just help them in the classroom, help them just generally in life altogether. So utilizing these MCTs for neurological conditions is incredibly powerful. Don't overlook this. And if you know somebody who has this issue, make sure that you share this video with them so that they can utilize MCTs to improve their life. Next here is improved gut health, okay? Now, a lot of people are suffering from gut health. I specifically work with a lot of gut health conditions, whether it be ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, SIBO, all these different things we talk about here on the channel. Now, when we look at MCTs, they're going to have an antimicrobial effect, antifungal effect, and studies show that it actually helps reduce candida. When we have people who have an overabundance of candida within the gut, essentially what's going to happen, they're going to get gas, they're going to get bloating, they're going to get constipation, they're going to get diarrhea, they're going to get a lot of skin reactions, and they're going to have a lot of like eczema, those sorts of things. So when we look at the skin health, gut health, and everything all together, the MCTs are really great for improving that gut health. And then also the other thing that I want to mention here is that the MCT powder that I'm talking about has a prebiotic in it. So if you see a few calories in there, you're going, where are those calories coming from? It's actually a fiber. And that fiber is known to not be able to be digested in the small intestine, so it actually can go to the bacteria, it can get into the large intestines, it can be utilized as a prebiotic to feed those good bacteria to help support gut health, which is really powerful stuff because we want to make sure that we're supporting and promoting the good bacteria in our gut so that we can have good overall gastrointestinal health. Let's go ahead and move forward here and talk about blood sugar management, okay? A lot of people out there suffering from insulin resistance. MCTs actually offers you some pretty promising benefits here. It's going to support those with insulin resistance because what it's going to help do is, first of all, I mean, we talked about all the things about weight management. It's going to help reduce your hunger. It's going to help reduce cravings. It's going to just help your body in so many ways, but it also is going to help balance your insulin levels, your blood sugar levels, and offer you some support. There was a study done in China where they took 40 people, and basically what they found is that the MCTs, those who are utilizing the MCTs versus utilizing other types of like long chain triglycerides, they essentially were able to get some great results in reversing diabetes. They were able to lose fat. They were able to lose total body weight. They were able to balance out their insulin levels. And so MCTs are really powerful. I'm not saying that's all you have to do, right? We got to have a proper diet. We got to have some exercise. We have to have some other things going on here. But MCTs added in are going to be incredibly beneficial. It also is going to help stabilize blood sugar. There was another study, and what they did is they took 10 diabetic patients and they had them use MCTs on a daily basis. And what they found is that they just had more stability with their blood sugar. And they weren't getting these huge high and lows. They weren't getting these huge insulin spikes. And so very, very promising stuff here when we talk about reducing the blood sugar and also just having total blood sugar management. Utilize this as another tool in your toolbox in order to help reverse diabetes. Next here is improved heart health, okay? Now, everybody needs improved heart health. When we look at heart health in general, these heart attacks, all these things people are facing, I mean, it's 1 in 4 people that die from heart attacks on a regular basis. I mean, it's every 40 seconds somebody has a heart-related death. So we want to make sure that we're doing our best to improve our heart health. And there's a lot of information on the channel about this particular stuff. Now, when we look at heart health, one of the things that MCTs are going to do is it's going to help reduce LDLs. So LDLs are considered this bad cholesterol. So MCTs have been found to reduce that bad cholesterol. Now, it also has been found to increase the heart healthy, the heart protective cholesterol, and those are the HDLs. So that's very powerful there. And it also has been shown to reduce CRP. Now, this is an inflammatory marker. And so this is really important because when we talk about heart health, right, you know, we can get wrapped up in the cholesterol conversation. I like to get wrapped up in the inflammation conversation because essentially when we look at heart health in general, and these people who are having heart attacks and clots and all this, it's an inflammatory problem in the cardiovascular system that is causing a lot of this. It causes the oxidation of the cholesterol, which causes many of the strokes and things that people are facing today. So we want to reduce inflammation so that we reduce the oxidation of this cholesterol, and we want to make sure that we're not only getting wrapped up in the cholesterol conversation. So these are all the ways that these MCT oils are going to help you boost your health. Check out the link in the description below for the MCT powder that I use clinically. It's research proven and really great stuff. Be sure to put in the comment section how you use MCTs, and then check out this video right over here. So I did a video that is going to help you reverse insulin resistance. We talked a lot about it in this video, how important it is, how MCTs support this process. This video is going to take you to the next level when it comes to reversing insulin resistance. Check it out here. Incorporating these into the daily routine is really going to do a lot of good things for your overall health in general, but also do a lot of great things for reversing insulin resistance